Travis, well batted today, mate. You must be pretty happy with the position you're in this Test match.
Yeah, very good position. So, unfortunately, the weather hasn't played much ball. We've lost a little bit of time, but I think in terms of the wicket, the way it's deteriorating, we're in a really nice position.
Felt like you were playing a big bash innings there today.
Hopefully, I can play like that in a couple of weeks' time. But yeah, it's nice. It's disappointing to, I guess, get out of the way I did. But moving the game forward, played my role. It wasn't necessary. It was just going out and seeing it. But I felt like with the conditions, with the light, with the rain, I felt like there was a real opportunity to keep the game moving. So I did that, and it come off. But I was really clear in my mind. I think I moved really well. Still played really well. Was nothing too over the top. It may look like that in the score sheet, but no, I felt like I played really well.
What did you take out of the way Usman and Steve and batted earlier in the day, and I guess setting a platform for you guys?
It's totally about that. Obviously, we know the wicket's going to be at its best over the next, probably tomorrow, and then it will deteriorate over the last, hopefully late tomorrow, and then day 4, 5. So it's about now trying to get as many runs in the first innings to make the second innings easier if we do have to bat. But now it's about making as many as we can in the first innings to know that we've got enough on the board to let the wicket do its work, and then we can get into our work.
Century celebrations for both batters were interesting. Describe the reaction from the dressing room for each of them.
Yeah, Uzz's, I think we always have something up his sleeve, doesn't he? So there was no surprise of that. I'm not quite sure what Smudges was, because Smudges is normally pretty low-key, and I think there's a bit of a backstory to that, but I want to find out first before I go with it. I think it's got something to do with Marnus, which is no surprise.
Right. Does it involve a chainsaw at all? Or?
I think so. I think that was what it is. I don't know the context to it, so you have to get Marnus. I'm sure Smudge will let it drop in the presser what it may or may not be. So, but I wanted to give anything away if I get it wrong.
Facing spin out there has been something we've talked a lot about in the lead into this test. Was it more challenging than it has been for the rest of the summer? How did you kind of approach playing spin today?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's definitely something there for him. And for me, it was about trying to put him under pressure. I guess there's going to be a lot spoken about over what comes up over the next couple of months. But I felt like maybe the one I nicked, he actually bowled a really, really nice ball. So, but I just want to be proactive and try and get him off that length. And I felt like I moved down the wicket really, really nicely. And he's an exceptional bowler. He's got 840 first-class wickets, and I've faced him in the past. And it's probably going to be the biggest challenge, has been probably the biggest challenge so far in the summer, with the wicket spinning, and second innings maybe the same if I get an opportunity. But I felt like the way I played and how positive my feet were going back and forth, it's a nice start, it's a nice blueprint.
What are the things you've been working on against spin? Because yeah, we as you mentioned, there's the Tour of India coming up. Everyone's going to get a lot of it. What are the things you've been working on?
It's hard to work on what you're going to come up against. So opportunities like that, I guess, to know it's in a good space. I felt like I've played my Haraj really, really well throughout the summer. I know the wickets haven't spun much, but been really happy with the way I've moved to the ball and the scoring and trying to score and the position I'm trying to score and executing off balls. So that's all you can do. And in the nets, you just want to get in good rhythm. You want to be making really, really good decisions against it, and you want to try and take every opportunity you can get. So I guess over the next month there'll be opportunities to do that. We'll mimic, I guess, the conditions as much as we can, and then we've got time over there to try and do that. But I felt like today on the wicket that is deteriorating. Not as much as it's probably not as much as it will over the next 3 days, but to an opportunity I felt like I played it really, really well. So nice start.
With Steve, the way Steve batted today, it looked like he kind of went back a little bit to how he used to bat with the trigger movements and stuff. Is that something? And I think he kind of said that he's always changing how he bats and adapting to the conditions. Is that it might not be quite as visible when you do it, but is it something you do as well?
Yeah, I think you've seen that today. The way I set up, I went a little bit with a bouncer plan. I stayed a lot leg side of it, gave up my stumps, tried to set myself early to be able to negate the ball that I thought he may bowl or the percentages where they fit. And I think Steve does the same thing, where the percentages lie, where the chances of scoring, where they think they're getting him out, and he adapts well. And he's done that. His technique, as though it's not textbook, it's amazing to watch him go through those gears and the way he goes through it, different wickets. Brisbane, I seen the thing about Brisbane. It's never a great... it's hard to judge the two between each other. We got the Gabba going around corners and bowling a particular line to here, which is different, and so to show the difference in technique is hard. But in his mind, he's just trying to work those percentages out. I'll do the same. You're going to get out some way. I guess you try and just give him one dismissal mode, and you try and take away the rest. So you accept that, and you try and put yourself in the best position to get runs.
How's Matt Renshaw gone this test?
I haven't seen him. I've seen him doing about 640 laps along the boundary here. Yeah, there's something that's always, it's unfortunate that it's come up the last test. We've done pretty well so far to get through it with how you've seen it around the country with it popping up. It's just not as publicised, I guess, and The good thing is he's feeling fine, so just without, you don't want to take someone else down, so I guess they got the precautions, but he seems like he's in good spirits. We'll see him when we get out on the field a bit more, but it's one of those things, isn't it?
It is one of those things. I mean, 12 months ago you missed a test because of it, right?
He was just happy about it, and look, he's done exceptionally well again today, so that was disappointing, obviously, not to be able to be in the game. Obviously, because I was in the same position as Reynolds, I was feeling fine and felt totally ready to go, so nice that we've got to the position now where we've got some protocols in place where the guy can, when Reynolds can still play because he seems fit.
It's 12 months too late for you. Yeah. Bad luck.
Yeah.
Thanks, Trav. Cheers.
Cheers, thank you. Cheers.
Appreciate it, mate. Thanks for that. Well